All right, so we're diving into this London game.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars across the pond.
Right.
The Bears going for their third win in a row.
Yeah.
And we're dissecting a live blog today, so we're really getting into the nitty-gritty, those raw, in-the-moment reactions and analysis as the game unfolded.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because sometimes you and I will be texting during games, right?
Yep. Right.
And so this is kind of like rereading a text thread from a game.
Yeah.
But in a more organized way.
Exactly.
With, the benefit of hindsight.
A little bit, yeah.
And a little more.
Expertise.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and speaking of, expertise and in-the-moment reactions, the Bears, again, find themselves in a familiar position early on in this one.
Uh-oh.
Trailing.
Yeah.
No opening drive touchdown for the Monsters of the Midway. And this actually makes it 6 straight games that they have not had an opening drive touchdown.
I did not realize it had been that many.
6 straight games.
Wow.
Playing from behind. So at what point do we start to hit the panic button?
I mean, it's not ideal, obviously, to consistently be playing from behind. But I think maybe the panic button is a little premature.
Okay.
They squeaked out those wins against the Texans and the Colts.
Right.
And it was the same story in those games.
Yeah.
So, they've proven that they can come back.
Right.
But, you got to think at some point that's got to wear on you.
Right.
Mentally and emotionally to always be playing catch up.
Yeah, you don't want to be down 2 touchdowns
Exactly.
every single game.
You spend so much energy trying to get back in it
Right.
that eventually you're just going to run out of gas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah. And it's not like they were playing, some defensive juggernaut here. We're talking about the Jags.
Yeah, exactly. And, other teams have been punching in touchdowns on those early drives against Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The fact that the Bears held them to a field goal speaks volumes about their defensive resilience.
Right.
I mean, that's a really encouraging sign.
Absolutely.
Even though they're trailing.
Okay, so a little bit of early grit there on defense. But then we get to the Bears' first possession.
Yeah.
And, oh boy, it is one of those sequences that makes you want to tear your hair out as a fan.
Oh, no.
Williams gets sacked. The ball bounces off of Pryor's face mask.
Oh, no.
Just chaos.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like the ball just has a mind of its own.
It really does.
Bouncing around like that.
It does, yeah. It's almost comical.
Yeah. And those are the moments, right, where you want to yell at the TV.
Absolutely.
Like, come on, guys, get it together.
Yeah.
But, it also highlights the pressure that the Jaguars' defensive line was putting on Williams.
Right.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
And, it's no coincidence that former Bear Roy Robertson-Harris chose this game to make a statement with a sack.
Oh, man.
Talk about adding insult to injury.
I know, right? The prodigal son returns.
That's right.
But just as we're wondering if the Bears are ever going to get the ball moving, boom. Edmonds forces a fumble.
Yes.
Recovers it.
Classic Edmonds.
The Bears are leading the league in forced fumbles for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they are the takeaway kings.
Yeah. They've got a knack for it.
They do.
And, turnovers are always momentum shifters.
Yeah.
But even more so early in the game.
Absolutely.
Because it just injects this jolt of energy into the team.
Totally.
The crowd goes wild.
Yeah. And speaking of wild, how about this touchdown?
Yeah.
The Bears pull off this incredible fake double screen.
Oh, wow.
Komet hauls it in.
Okay.
And then just powers through defenders like a runaway train into the end zone.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, the guy is a battering ram.
Yeah, that's the tight end we were promised.
I know, right?
When they drafted him.
I know.
That play was classic Coach Waldron.
Really?
You see the influence of his Seattle days?
Yeah.
With that misdirection.
It's like that old saying, right?
What's that?
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Exactly.
They won't fool us again with those double screens.
Yeah, but they did fool the Jags.
They did.
And you know what makes this touchdown really sing? Is Komet's athleticism.
Yeah.
And awareness.
Absolutely.
He's not just running a route.
Right.
He's reading the field. He's breaking tackles.
Right.
And he's showcasing his evolution as a complete tight end.
Absolutely.
He's not just a big body anymore.
No, he can do it all.
He can do it all.
And to top it off, he delivers the extra point snap after this.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, this guy's everywhere.
That's incredible.
I know.
What a play.
Talk about a multi-talented player.
Yeah.
So the momentum is swinging, the energy is high.
Right.
We see Johnson narrowly missing a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
Swift looking like he's shot out of a cannon early on with those powerful runs.
Yeah, I was going to say his yards per carry had to be insane
Oh, yeah.
in that first quarter.
Just totally dominant.
Yeah.
But then things start to sputter a little bit.
Right.
The offensive line isn't holding up. And you have to wonder, should they have shifted gears in their play calling?
Right, because I feel like the Jags were really starting to key in on that outside zone run.
Yeah.
They were clearly overloading one side of the line.
Yeah.
And yet the Bears seemed determined to keep running the ball into that wall.
Right.
You know, sticking to the game plan is one thing.
Right.
But adaptability is crucial in this league.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to read the defense and adjust accordingly.
For sure.
Right? It's like they say, you know, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Right.
And the Bears were getting punched in the mouth repeatedly there.
Yeah.
And they just kept trying to execute the same plan.
Yeah. And speaking of unexpected punches, how about this curveball?
What's that?
Cole Kmet, our touchdown scoring tight end,
Right.
is suddenly thrust into the role of long snapper.
Oh, no.
Due to an injury.
No way.
That's not in the playbook, folks.
Talk about a high-pressure situation.
Oh, my gosh. I can't even imagine.
You know, losing your long snapper mid-game is such a wrench in the gears.
Right.
Especially when you consider how much emphasis is placed on special teams these days.
Oh, absolutely.
Field position is everything.
It is.
And, you know, you need a reliable long snapper.
Oh, for sure.
To make that happen.
It's the little things.
It is the little things. And, you know, it's a reminder that every single player on that roster has a vital role.
Right.
Even the ones who don't always get the spotlight.
For sure. And it's a testament to Kmet's composure.
Right.
That he was able to step in and handle those snaps.
Yeah. You got to give him credit for that.
Absolutely. Talk about a team player.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us?
Well,
second quarter, Bears are clinging to a 7-3 lead. Could you have predicted this turn of events?
I mean, it's been a roller coaster ride so far.
It really has.
You know, the Bears have shown flashes of brilliance.
Right.
Particularly on defense.
Yeah.
And with those, you know, electrifying plays from Kmet. But there are also these moments of head-scratching inconsistency.
Yeah.
Especially on the offensive side.
Right.
So, you know, the question is, can they put it all together for a complete game?
That's the million-dollar question for these Bears, isn't it?
It really is.
Can they find that next gear and dominate for a full 4 quarters?
Right, because that's what separates the contenders from the pretenders.
Absolutely. And we're going to find out if they have what it takes.
Okay.
Now, before we dive into the rest of this game, let's take a quick step back and look at the bigger picture for a moment. We've been talking about the Bears' need for consistency, you know, for putting together a complete performance.
Right.
As we kind of dive back into this second half, do we see those improvements?
Well, you know, the live blog commentary really emphasizes the ebb and flow of this game.
Yeah.
You know, the Bears' offense, for example, showed those flashes of brilliance we were just discussing, but also moments of frustration. Think back to Swift's performance.
Okay.
He had some explosive runs.
He did.
But also missed opportunities for even bigger gains.
Oh, yeah. You're right. There were a couple of times where he had a clear cutback lane.
Right.
And just didn't take it.
Yes.
Those yards left on the field can make all the difference in a tight game.
Exactly. It highlights the fine margins.
It really does.
In this league.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The difference between a good play and a great play often comes down to recognizing those opportunities and capitalizing on them.
Absolutely. And you got to take what they give you.
That's right.
Especially against a team like the Jags,
right.
You know, where every yard counts.
Yeah.
Now, something else that jumped out to me from the blog was the impact of penalties.
Okay.
Those false starts, that pass interference call, they always seem to come at these just critical moments.
Yeah. Momentum can be a fickle thing.
It really can.
And penalties can be absolute momentum killers, no doubt about it.
Right.
You know it's about discipline.
Right.
Staying focused under pressure.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just, you know, emotions get the better of you.
Sure.
Remember that unsportsmanlike conduct call on the Jags?
Oh, yeah.
Right after the Bears scored their touchdown?
Yep.
You know, that kind of mental lapse can swing the momentum right back in an instant.
Yeah, you're right back to square one.
Exactly.
It's a game of inches, but it's also a game of momentum.
It is a game of momentum, for sure.
And those penalties really can just kill you.
They can make or break a game, no doubt.
You really can. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive here, what's the big takeaway for you? that's really sticking with you from this wild London matchup?
It's easy to get caught up in the touchdowns of the big plays, the drama. But, this game for me, more than anything, was a testament to the importance of the details.
Okay.
Those seemingly small moments.
Yeah.
An individual battle won in the trenches.
Yeah.
A crucial coaching decision. A player stepping up in an unexpected role.
Yeah.
Like Komet at long snapper.
Right.
They all weave together to tell the story of a team's performance.
Absolutely. It's those micro decisions and micro moments that ultimately determine the outcome of the macro game.
Yeah.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to have to wrap up this deep dive into the Bears London adventure.
All right.
To all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep asking those insightful questions, and join us next time for another fascinating journey.
Sounds good.
Into the world of sports.